So we stopped in here at Jeffrey City off the 287, coming off the trail from that direction.
Though our time in South Dakota was brief, we were filled with wonder about the rich history of this place and knew we would return to this diverse landscape to explore further and to learn more about the people and the culture who call South Dakota home. After breaking down camp and packing up, it was time to leave the Black Hills behind us and head into Wyoming. Our good friend Tyler was several hundred miles west of us on the Wyoming Backcountry Discovery Route, and we were hoping to meet up with him and his dog Lacey somewhere on the trail near Sweetwater Crossing. We have spent a bit of time in Wyoming in the past, and we're excited about the next couple of days, but first we had to get a lot of miles behind us.
Here I am in Muddy Gap, Wyoming. For the last 150 miles, I've been battling this wind about, I don't know, we're easily up to 25 to 30 mile an hour gust right now. The Jeep is not made all that aerodynamic like, so nor is the trailer. So we have been sucking through the gas like there's no tomorrow. But anyway, I'm trying to get up ahead of Tyler here. He's on the fourth leg of the BDR trail here in Wyoming, and we're actually cutting across the paved road. We got this track here hopefully soon, so we'll see. Beth and I have made it out of South Dakota, where we camped last night in the Black Hills National Forest. We skirted across Wyoming to try and catch up with Tyler and meet up with him somewhere here on the Wyoming BDR. Unfortunately, he got a little bit too far north of us, and we just do not have that sort of time. So we are about almost halfway in to section 4 of the BDR, and we're actually doing it from north to south, and we're going to see how many sections we can get in before we have to make tracks for Texas. We are running short on time. The South Dakota trip did take away a little bit of the things we wanted to do in Wyoming, but I would not have traded that experience for the world. South Dakota is absolutely a place that we need to get back to and explore more. But for now, this is our campsite. We have lots of neighbors, a little noisy. There's a herd of cattle out here. We have seen some antelope out here and some wild birds, like prairie chickens or something like that. Not sure what they are, and gonna have to look them up a little bit later. And then as I was walking out into the shrubland, came across a very healthy rattlesnake that was probably just a couple of seasons old. And so yeah, just can't think of a better place to be right now. The wind has been horrific today. We just skirting across Wyoming, we've been hitting anywhere from 20 to 35 mile an hour headwinds. So it just beats you to death, and happy to be stopped for the day. I think we're gonna get some pork chops going for tonight and see what else is on tap. So I know we're gonna call it an early night though. We're both pretty exhausted.
Using the trailer as a wind block, Beth and I settled in for a quiet dinner as we watched the sunset and reflected on our day and wondered what tomorrow would bring. We were happy to be back on the dirt, exploring the backcountry of Wyoming, experiencing a fraction of what life would have been like on the Oregon Trail. This region of Wyoming is rich in early American history, as the Oregon, California, and Mormon trails crisscrossed the area in the 1800s.
So Beth and I are out here on the Wyoming BDR. We got into about 10 miles of it last night without airing down before we found camp, and honestly we got about another 80 miles to go, I think. Hard to tell because we didn't enter at the beginning of this section. We're on section 4, but it's definitely time to air down. And just take advantage of what the Jeep can do out here. We got a long day ahead of us. We got to get about 80 miles, 90 miles of dirt out of the way, and then we have to really make tracks for Colorado. Hopefully we can get into it tonight. So we'll see where we end up. I'll keep you guys posted. So it's, man, I don't even know what time it is. So we're about 7:30 in the morning out here on the BDR in Wyoming, section number 4. We are somewhere on the really close to the halfway mark on the northern side. So we have probably 70 miles to knock out today, and then we really have to make tracks, try to get into Colorado this evening and pitch camp there. But I got to tell you, this camp last night was spectacular. Nice flat grass section. We are on BLM land. We're on 1.8 million acres of BLM land out here in Wyoming, and it's yours. Come explore it, have fun. Anyway, we got to get going that way. So we're on section 4 of the Wyoming BDR. Woke up this morning. We camped out here last night. Woke up this morning. Oh man. It said it was in the low 40s. I say it was in the upper 30s. It was pretty chilly, but it's totally worth it to come out here. So far, the trail is not technical. It's long. There's a little bit. There's some off-camber stuff. As we rate trails in the off-road world from a 1 to 10, this, for those standards, would be definitely rated a 1. For the length of the trail and the remoteness and the lack of services out here, let's put it at a 3, maybe even a 4. At a trailer like what we have, definitely a 5, but still worth it. You come out here and you can get some views like this. So spectacular, absolutely breathtaking. The weather's warming up. I'll get to shed a couple of layers here in a second, but yeah, onward we go that way.
The Wyoming Backcountry Discovery Route consists of 8 sections ranging from paved back roads to technical devil track and jeep trails. The views along the way are beyond spectacular and worth every effort. If you go, fueling points are unreliable, so pack extra. There are also places to resupply along the route, but you should always pack extra food and water for those just-in-case moments. And you can't rely on cell service, so be sure to have a way to call for help or to check in with family. The Garmin InReach has served me well on countless adventures. And be sure to have fun.
Good morning. Which way? Are those flies bothering you? Uh-oh. Don't want to scare you. You have a good day. Bye. As we make our way along this BDR trail in Wyoming, we've encountered some wildlife. Lots of domestic cows out here, so be careful when you're traveling out here. There are critters out here that call it their home, and we really don't want to disturb them too much. As far as wildlife goes, we've encountered some ducks and some teal in some of the local stock tanks. Saw about a 2.5 foot, 3 foot rattlesnake yesterday within about 20 feet, 30 feet outside of our camp. That was quite exciting. Loads of American antelope, and those are always fun to watch. And then some birds of prey and some other type of bird, maybe a prairie chicken or something like that. We're gonna have to look up when we get back to civilization. But oh my gosh, the remoteness here is so rewarding and so breathtaking. Encourage anybody that has the desire and the will to get out here to absolutely do it. And as I'm recording this, you're not going to be able to see it, but I will pan the camera around. There are some wild horses several hundred feet below me, and they're going to be right down in there. They heard me. They got a little startled, but they're stopped and just kind of looking. So that's super cool. Anyway, here we go.
As we travel along this trail, I'm mesmerized by the history of what life would have been like on the Oregon Trail so long ago. In 1836, the first wagon train left Independence, Missouri, and headed west. These original overlanders encountered so many hardships along the 2,170-mile journey. Heavy rains, flooding, early snows, disease, bandits, and hostile Indians were all a common occurrence. For some, the Oregon Trail and its offshoots were a dangerous and precarious journey, with a degree of romance and pleasure. For others, it was a graveyard of friends and family. Of the nearly 350,000 settlers who went west, it's estimated that 30,000 of them perished.
Unfortunately, time is not going to allow us to complete this 140-mile section of trail. We are running short on days, and our desires don't match up with that. So we're going to take a right turn coming up here soon on Ore Road, which is actually really cool because we will cross the Oregon Trail. And as you drive along the BDR, especially in this part of Wyoming, you cross over the Mormon Pioneer Trail, the California Trail, and the Oregon Trail multiple times. But you really get a sense of what the pioneers back in the 1800s were going through when they left Missouri and even points further east in search of more space and more freedoms, and just the isolation out here, the desolation in the sense that if something happens to you out here, you're on your own. If you know what you're looking for, there are food sources out here, there are water sources out here. One can survive, but you do have to be educated. So we've been on the trail this morning for about almost 2.5 hours now. We have yet to see anyone out here. We've seen plenty of cows, a couple of horses, and lots of birds, but no human beings. I expect we should be crossing paths with some motorcycles here shortly. But yeah, until then, we just keep driving on. So something also to keep in mind on this trail here that we're on is that at certain points it can be pretty rocky, pretty chunky. You definitely want to slow down there so you don't bend a rim or destroy a tire. But also something that I've noticed, the rain, just the water when it does rain just washes through here. Can create some very deep ruts. It looks like it gets pretty stinking muddy out here. I don't know that I'd want to be out here with my trailer in those conditions. But yeah, the trail is constantly changing. So go slow and just enjoy the view. Okay, like I said earlier, our time is running short. We have to dip down into Colorado hopefully today, and we still got a lot of ground to make up. So with that, we're going to leave Beaver Rim Road behind us and take Ore Road out. We have a faster track here. This will drop us down into almost Jeffrey City here in Wyoming, and then which is a really interesting town in and itself. Look it up. It's an abandoned uranium mining town. Going back to pre-World War II, I believe. So anyway, we're making tracks, getting out of here, and we'll see you on the next one. Oh my gosh, a lot of years ago when I was a young kid back in junior high in San Diego, I had a history teacher in 7th and 8th grade, Mike Lang. Most incredible man as I look back and reflect on what he taught me in his lessons. He would come to school dressed as a mountain man or maybe a wagon train guide and just teach us about the settling of the West as people moved further west in search of more land and more space and richer, more fertile grounds. Mr. Lang actually had an exercise where he would group the kids together and we would be a wagon train on the Oregon Trail. Fast forward to today, so many years later, decades later, I am standing just over my shoulder here is the Oregon Trail. It is it's kind of an awe-inspiring moment for me, just kind of full circle. Sadly, Mr. Lang is no longer alive. He passed away of cancer many years ago, so I can't share the influence that he had on me to actually come out here into Wyoming and find a place like this. But This is the Sweetwater river valley, very fertile land. The river flows through here. The wagon train would typically be coming from this direction and just crossing over and dealing with winds like this even, and also racing the seasons, racing the winter, trying to get someplace maybe over to Jackson or someplace into Idaho, Boise or something like that, so they could hunker down for the winter before they make the next evolution in their trail and onward into California. But yeah, this is a really cool experience for me, and I mean, here I am doing it in something like this, and it's even though it's a modern wagon, it's still out here doing it. And again, it's just a really cool and very special moment that I get to come full circle with Mike Lang's teachings, and I can't wait to be able to share that with you and other people, hopefully my grandkids one day. So anyway, gotta make tracks.
An important part of why we travel is to stop along the way to meet the people who are the community and culture of where they live. In the ghost town of Jeffrey City, Wyoming, population 23, Beth and I met the owner of Monkeen Bird Pottery, Byron Seeley. Byron is a man who's living an incredible story and loves to tell it. His work has been featured in art galleries in Austin, Texas, Jackson Hole, Wyoming, Breckenridge, Colorado, and many other places throughout his lifetime. So if you're ever in the neighborhood, stop in and experience Byron's pottery shop and listen to his story. At the very least, you'll leave with a smile and a better hope for humanity. If you're truly lucky, you'll leave with a piece of his collection.
What's your dog's name?
Floyd.
Floyd.
He's the one that saved me.
Aww. So my wife's maiden name is Floyd, so it was meant for us to be here.
For you to stop here today. For
Yeah.
us to get here when we did.
Yeah.
Yep, that is my maiden name.
Oh my goodness.
Problem.
He's just protecting you.
He doesn't. Something's
He doesn't bark.
doesn't do that very often.
Something that he didn't like.
Nope.
You hasn't been here for all this time, so it's not you.
No, but we come a long way to see places like this and to meet people like you.
Thank you.
So we stopped in here at Jeffrey City off the 287, coming off the trail from that direction to air up. But I found out about this place a couple of years ago. It's Monkeen Bird Pottery, ran by a gentleman named Byron, and he just happened to be open this morning as we were passing through. I'm speechless. This guy has such a great story, such an amazing story. If you're ever passing through on 287, maybe on your way up to Jackson and Jackson Hole, maybe the Tetons, stop in and visit with my friend Byron back here. I promise you, you won't go away empty-handed. You will probably buy a piece of pottery, which is absolutely amazing. Everything's made here on site. We are leaving with a fossil, and minds are blowing with the quality of the fossil that we got from Byron today. So anyway, stop by. I got to finish putting air in my tire so we can make tracks that way.
This was our second trip to the Cowboy State, and we have quickly fallen in love with the people, the culture, and the landscape. It's not difficult to imagine Beth and I spending more time in the Wyoming backcountry in the years to come. But before we can do that, there are a few other places we want to check off our list. As we do, it's our hope that we inspire you to go further and to see more.